Today I'd like to share a little bit of the experience I've had over the last several years. It started one day several years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when I was invited by a dear friend, Barry Horn. Barry and I had mutual acquaintances, but we didn't know each other that well. He extended an invitation to be a guest at his table at a Liberty Road Foundation Business Vision Lunch. Intriguing, I thought, but what really captivated my attention in that invitation, not only Barry's invitation, but the fact that Lorenzo Romar would be speaking at the event. And I've had great admiration and respect for his work at the University of Washington as a head men's basketball coach. So I came to the event, and as expected, Barry's table was very near the front. I was just off the speaker's podium. And during the event, there was a wonderful sharing time by Coach Romar. And as is always the custom at these events, it's a fundraising event, there was the ask. And I had come prepared because I felt compelled that I would share in the blessings financially with that God had given me to this ministry. But as I sat there and I began to contemplate, what should I write this check for? Lord, I sensed something very deep in my heart that said, as if it were the Lord speaking to me, saying, David, please write that check, but I want you to do something more. I want you to volunteer to lead a breakfast group at the Jubilee Reach Community Center in the Lake Hills area of Bellevue. And I had heard other people talk about the joy that they had received in doing that, and had contemplated that, but that afternoon, it gripped me, and I knew I had to do it. So I said yes in my heart, and I later contacted somebody at Liberty Road to help me with the logistics, and they explained what I had to do. Well, among other things, I needed to get a crew of people to help me. That was an anxious moment or two, but 2 or 3 weeks later, I was out golfing with some of my colleagues at work, and I casually mentioned my excitement for taking on this new project in my life. It was, I think, May or June that year, and the breakfast would start that fall school year. And these two young men, without hesitation, not only said yes, but 2 or 3 days later had solicited other volunteers for my firm. And to me, that was a confirmation that God was in this. Within literally 2 or 3 weeks, I had a group of 8 to 10 people who expressed their interest. Some of them were not even a part of our firm. I was delighted. And it turned out to be one of the most wonderful experiences in my life. Every month, there would be one morning a month, we would go to the Jubilee Reach Center, serve breakfast, serve the volunteer staff there, serve the paid staff there, but most of all, serve those young children who were there for some fellowship, some affirmation, and a good, healthy, warm breakfast. It also became something that was really important. I learned in relating to my coworkers. I have a lot of authority and responsibility in my job with Clark Nuber, and many times I have to have a certain role or provide a lot of information, but it was wonderful just to go there and be a dishwasher, to bus tables, to greet the children, and to be a colleague, not a supervisor, with my younger co-workers. And I found I connected with those young people in a very different way than I am able to often in my work life. And it was just wonderful. I had an opportunity to learn more about the people that I work with that probably wouldn't have been shared in the hallways of my offices. I learned so much about doing that. And I was encouraged 1 year after doing that maybe we could support another breakfast group. And again, the Lord brought to mind more volunteers. Today, about 4 years later, we have about 25 people that regularly volunteer. And I've been able to help groom other leaders who will take my role when it's time for me to change my relationship with my firm or do something else. And I'm feeling really blessed about that. I'm very, very happy with the work that Liberty Road Foundation does, and I'm delighted with the astonishing work that Jubilee Reach does in our Bellevue community.